The Sisters of Charity Foundation has been responding creatively to the needs of those suffering from poverty and disadvantage for 20 years. In that time, we've grown our impact via unique charitable programs that support Australia's most vulnerable, including children and young people, those experiencing homelessness or family violence, Indigenous Australians, veterans, people living with disability, asylum seekers and those who have escaped modern slavery, and disadvantaged students who deserve the opportunity to fulfil their potential.
The Sisters of Charity were founded over in Ireland in 1815, and in 1838, 5 Sisters of Charity landed in December on the shores of Australia. Those sisters and the sisters who stood on their shoulders took responsibilities and looked at what were the needs and how could we meet those needs. However, 150 years on, it was seen that we needed to do things differently.
The sisters were aware that while support initiatives existed, more help was needed. So in 2000, the sisters launched the foundation to make sure that smaller charity groups could access funds.
The Sisters of Charity set up the Sisters of Charity Foundation, and it was always seen to be the arm, the social justice arm, for the congregation of the Sisters of Charity.
Since the foundation began in 2000, we've provided more than $8 million to over 500 community organisations, themselves working with those living in poverty and the marginalised.
Now every year the foundation provides individual grants of up to $15,000 to a wide range of innovative community projects.
At Fighting Chance, we believe in a future which is fully inclusive for people with disability. The funding from the Sisters of Charity Foundation has made such a massive difference to us. When they first got behind us, we were a tiny operation, probably had 10 participants in Brookvale in the Northern Beaches, and their friendship and support has got us to where we are today, which is 3 substantial co-working spaces across Sydney.
In 2011, the foundation launched a tertiary scholarship program to empower dedicated students from out-of-home care backgrounds to transform their lives through education.
I'm a recipient of the Sisters of Charity Foundation Scholarship. My life experience has influenced my decision in becoming a nurse so that I can help other people. I was so grateful to receive the scholarship. It was such an amazing opportunity. So thank you.
We're so proud that they have a degree or they have employment where they feel great about who they are and they can add great value to society.
In 2015, to celebrate 175 years of the Sisters of Charity in Australia, the foundation launched the Asylum Seekers Housing Program.
Dozens of asylum seekers who previously had no place to call their home found stability at Providence House.
Moving into Providence House, it was the happiest moment in my life. When I stayed there, I got my bridging visa and I started to study, and I was very safe at that house. That house gave me a lot of hope. In future, I want to do something for Australian citizens because this country helped me a lot. I already completed my HK nursing cert, and this is the way I'm paying back them.
Having a stable accommodation is really crucial for people seeking asylum. Having the opportunity to live in Providence House allows them to settle in Australia, understand the culture, and slowly build a life here.
In our newest program, we've created vital housing opportunities for survivors of modern slavery.
Salvation Army and Salvo's Housing have partnered with the Sisters of Charity Foundation to provide transitional housing for people who've experienced modern slavery. It's hard to believe that in a first world country like Australia, there's actually a need for a project that deals with people who have experienced modern slavery. However, studies show that it happens. So the program aims to allow people, individuals and families to be part of the decision-making process, because this is not a traditional transitional housing program. The aim of the project is that they will eventually take the lease on themselves and it will be their permanent home. The program is so important because it allows people to set up a permanent life in Australia and to move on from what they've been through. We're extremely excited to be working with the Foundation in such an aligned mission to provide hope where it's needed most.
Every vital community project that receives funding, every disadvantaged student who now has an opportunity for higher education, and every asylum seeker and survivor of modern slavery who now finds a safe place to rest their head brings our congregation more joy than you could possibly imagine.
As an organisation, we're strong because we're backed by a congregation of sisters who are truly inspiring in the work that they've done.
We see real outcomes and life-changing transformations happening every day, and we know without a doubt that our decision to create this foundation was worthy and would have made Mary Aikenhead proud.
Over the past 2 decades, the Foundation has been guided by a vision of an Australia where anyone who experiences disadvantage or social isolation can count on swift, practical and compassionate assistance.